mine known as the Chronicles from the Upper Deck podcast. I'm your host, Derrick Ow. It is great to be here with you on this November weekend, holiday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully, you guys had a great Thanksgiving with your family, your loved ones, and people that you choose to love, if that makes sense. My guest, by the way, we're at chapter 40 of this podcast. So we're either doing something really, really good for you guys to keep tuning in, watching, or listening, or we're just like you guys are bored and you just want to hear my voice for multiple hours on end. But thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we are at chapter 40, and my two guests are Cory Goodman and Kyle Escobar. I've known both those gentlemen for over a decade now, going back to our days when we worked together at the First Tee Monterey County, and we'll get to catch up with them. Both gentlemen won my fantasy football league a couple of years ago, so we'll get to talk a little bit about fantasy football, how they met, which was here at CSUMB, and we also just talk about sports, which is I know what you guys are tuning into is just to hear my crazy sports takes, which are not that crazy compared to Stephen A. Smith's. All right, so we're going to talk about a little bit about college football. Not about San Jose State, by the way, who just had a season to forget at 3-8. So California Golden Bears football fired head coach Justin Wilcox earlier this week. Wilcox was there for 9 years and kept the Golden Bears afloat. 48-55 record, won won a couple of bowl games, but it just wasn't enough. I think Cal has such a, they're building towards that right brand. And I feel like, it was just time for a change. I mean, they were just underachieving year after year after year. And I think, at the end of the day, when you have the whole entire East Bay market now to yourselves, I think Cal has a massive opportunity to fill that void that was left by the Raiders, left by the Warriors, left by the A's. And, losing in embarrassing fashion to Stanford during the big game last weekend. That's not going to get done. Obviously, they will wrap up their season against SMU and then await to see where they go to play their bowl game. But yeah, I think it's time for the general manager, Ron Rivera, to kind of make a home run hire, whether that's going to be Nick Rolovich, who coached at Hawaii and at Washington State. Really not my pick. Also, they got the Cal offense coordinator, Brian Harsin, who also had some success at Arkansas State, Boise State, and Auburn. But I think Cal just needs to hit it out of the ballpark. I think they've been struggling to try and keep players. I mean, you look at what Fernando Mendoza's doing at Indiana, leading him to an undefeated season, potentially, you know, a first round bye. They will have a chance to win a Big Ten Conference championship next weekend. It's just going to be trying to keep the best student athletes that you can. Of course, you got National Signing Day in a couple weeks. You also got the transfer portal open up on January 6th. So I think Cal, obviously time is ticking to see if they can, really handle this hire. Um, you know, I think there's just a lot of good benefits. I mean, you're in the Bay Area. One, you have potential access to, tech companies. Two, and I think three for student athletes. I think it's just like you'll get a chance to shine here. And I think it's going to be, you know, I think Cal is an attractive job enough where people, you know, and play, student athletes, high school players would want to go play at Berkeley. But I think the problem is just obviously the constraints within NAL and within a prestigious academic university like UC Berkeley. So I really hope they go with Tosh Lupoi, who's a former Cal D lineman, was a recruiting wizard for Jeff Tedford, currently leading the Oregon Ducks as their defensive coordinator. I believe the Ducks have a top five defense in the country. Would love to see him return to the Bay Area and kind of steward the ship and take Cal to that next level. Plus, they got the great true freshman quarterback, Jaron Kigwe Sukuwapale, who, you know, is kind of a little bit better than Tua, a little more accurate than Tua. But obviously, there's always these rumors that, he's going to transfer to a different program. But he has all the tools to be a successful college quarterback and be one of the best for the next couple years. Um, we could see Tim Plow return, who's the current head coach at UC Davis, who was on Justin Wilcox's staff back in 2023. I would love, I think this is the wild card. What if Deshaun Jackson, who is having a successful first season at Delaware State, what if he comes back to Berkeley? I mean, how fitting that would be. He's led the Delaware State to an 8-4 season. So I would not be surprised to see Deshaun Jackson back. But in my eyes, I think you just got to go with Tosh Lupoi coming back here. Of course, played at De La Salle, landed some big time recruits when he was on Jeff Tedford's staff. Um, and I think he can just keep these guys in the Bay Area, that are coming out of the West, the WCAL league, just trying to, keep guys and also bring in guys from the transfer portal as well. I think that's something that Cal is, you know, has been behind the eight ball lately, especially with NIL just taking off and it's becoming the wild, wild west out there. So love to see Tosh Lupoi get a shot, and we'll see if the general manager Ron Rivera makes that move. I believe they're down to 14 candidates, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to kind of steward the ship and hopefully take Cal to that next level, which is starting to contend for an ACC title, starting to contend for college football playoff appearances, and heck, maybe even national championship. I mean, we saw how hungry that fan base is to win, which we saw last season when College Game Day came to visit. So, would love to see California hit this one right. Obviously, this could make or break Ron Rivera's tenure as a general manager for the California Golden Bears in football. So it'll be interesting to see kind of who they go with. And to me, I think it's just a no-brainer. You gotta go with the guy who does have ties to California and does have ties to the university, does have ties to the Bay Area. To my mind, Tosh Lupoi. And then we switch over across the bay where the Stanford Cardinal 4-8, they've kind of written the ship, if you will, with Andrew Luck also getting hired as general manager. They got rid of Troy Taylor last offseason after he was faced with some you know, off the field controversies. Frank Reich, who was the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts and the Carolina Panthers, uh, came to Palo Alto, and it was just going to be a 1-year stint, and he's done a solid, solid job. Stanford's looked more competitive. They're 4-7. They will take on Notre Dame. They take on Notre Dame this weekend. It's going to be interesting and to see where this program goes. Obviously, they got the axe back in a dominating fashion, just forcing Cal to turn the ball over. But Stanford sticking with the Stanford roots, and Tavita Pritchard returns to the farm. He's going to be their new head coach. Andrew Luck just announced that. Fun fact, Tavita Pritchard was Andrew Luck's officiant at his wedding. And Pritchard's a former Stanford quarterback. He was a coordinator. He was an assistant coach, went to the Washington Commanders to be the quarterbacks coach, took Jaden Daniels' game to another level. Um, and the search was run by Andrew Luck, the athletic director John Donahue, and then of course former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, who is also a professor at Stanford. So yeah, I think this was a slam dunk hire, to keep this hire within the Stanford family. Um, but Pritchard has never had a head coaching job. So it should be interesting to see how Pritchard makes those, in-game adjustments because he's just never had a head coaching job. He's had coordinating experience. Obviously, coach quarterbacks, wide receivers, promoted offensive coordinator, and then left back in 2022. Of course, some of the names that he's coached: Kevin Hogan, Davis Mills, who, by the way, got a big time Thursday night win over the Buffalo Bills last week. Tanner McKee, who, you know, has a Super Bowl ring backing up Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. So I think Pritchard, the recruiter, is going to be phenomenal. Of course, other players he coached, Bryce Love, Walter Little, and JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And Stanford like Cal. I mean, they were behind the eight ball in recruiting in terms of NIL just because of the academic constraints, the budgetary constraints. And I think just made a smart move getting Andrew Luck, who's on the sideline, you know, just always cheering out for the team. I saw that when they played San Jose State at the farm earlier this year. So I think, Stanford done a solid job recruiting. Um, ESPN has their recruiting class in the top 40, and that's good considering we didn't know the future of that program. So it's going to be interesting to see how Pritchard kind of adapts to being a head coach. I think recruiting is going to be really good for them overall, just because you have somebody that's familiar with the program, has been with the program, played, under Coach Jim Harbaugh, led them to probably one of the more signature wins in program history when they shocked Pete Carroll in 2007 against USC. Richard Sherman was on that team, by the way. So I'm interested to see where Coach Pritchard takes the Cardinal and trying to get him back to, when they won multiple Rose Bowls, when they won multiple Pac-12 championships a decade ago. I think, brighter days are ahead for Stanford, and it's going to be exciting to see them, kind of prosper under this new regime, if you will, and they're going younger in their head coaching position. And I would hope to see them, contend for an ACC title, but mainly just get back to, you know, being in bowl games every year. I think that's the first goal, and just establishing an identity that I think has been lost for the past couple of years ever since David Shaw left. So, new leaders incoming to the Bay Area's top ACC programs, Cal and Stanford. And then we go to the Golden State Warriors, who are 10-10. All I'm going to say is I think you're going to start to see signs of a rebuild. It's probably not going to be this year. Um, Steph Curry is going to be out for the next week with a thigh contusion. The Warriors, I think I was never expected a championship this year, but I really wasn't. But, you know, I thought they would be a little bit better than being a playing team. But I think you just see guys just not take the next step, if you will. Kamiga's been solid, but he's been out for the past couple weeks with some knee injuries. Brandon Pajewski, one game he'll look like he's the next face of the franchise, and one game he's making boneheaded plays. Missed three free throws in their loss against the Houston Rockets on Wednesday. So I think Pajewski's going to be a good player, but I'm not sure if he's going to be superstar material. I'm not sure if he's going to ascend to that all-star level like that Joe Lacob and Mike Dunleavy Jr. want. Love to see Moses Mooney shine a little more. I think this is his time to prove that he is an integral part of that team. Um, the bench needs to play a lot better. Buddy Hield hasn't been doing anything. GP2 starting to get more consistent minutes. But yeah, the Warriors, I think, are at a crossroads, and we don't know what direction this team can go in. Are they going to try and, get aggressive again and, contend and maybe get a Domantas Sabonis from Sacramento, who, by the way, look like are heading for what, the fifth rebuild, sixth rebuild of the century. That's what you get for messing with doing business with John Fisher, Vivek Ranadive. Um, or will the Warriors just play it safe with the guys they have, knowing that this team is most likely headed for a first round exit or even a play-in loss. So, um, you know, we'll see what Warriors team we're going to get the rest of the way. I think you're just going to get another 500 team unless they make a move. But like I said, this team's facing a crossroads in December um, as they try and still trying to find their identity of who they want to be, especially in the final years, because you know Steph doesn't deserve to go through a rebuild. Draymond Green doesn't deserve to go through a rebuild, but at some point you got to blow the team up and you got to start over again. You got to have a fresh canvas. Um, so I'm intrigued to see where this team goes. I really am, and yeah, I think the goal for this year is just to get in the dance and avoid the play-in. And we did that last year. Of course, they upsetted Houston in the first round last year. And besides OKC, the West is wide open. You got the Nuggets, you got the Clippers, you got the Lakers. So, and plus don't forget about the T-Wolves too, what Anthony Edwards is doing up there. So it's going to be an interesting year. It really is. I think you're going to see a team that either wants it and it's all going to click, the old team, the old Warriors are back, or you're just going to see a team that just kind of plateaus in March and April, and it's another early exit. So I think these next few months are going to show us a lot about what the Golden State Warriors are going to be this year. But coming up next, we talk to a pair of Sacramento brothers, that is Cory Goodman and Kyle Escobar, the 2023 DQ42 Masters League champions, and Cory, by the way, 2013 fantasy football champion as well in mid-league. But you're going to see that and more coming up next on the Chronicles from the Upper Deck podcast. We'll be back. All right, my friends. So here we are, chapter 40. Would you believe it? So these two gentlemen are my next guests on the show here on Chronicles from the Upper Deck. I've known them for, gosh, we're going on a decade now. That's how old I am. Even though age is just a number. But yeah, I've known these gentlemen for over a decade. I was a teenager when I met them at the First Tee of Monterey County, just like how all my friendships, I think 95% of my friendships have started from the First Tee Monterey County. But yeah, these two gentlemen need no introduction, but I'll give them one anyway. Both from Sacramento, California. Both of them are DQ42 Masters League champions. We got a two-time champion in the room here via the magic of Zoom. They've won multiple softball championships. They've done bowling. We've done frisbee golf. They've kind of co-invented the nickname that you'll hear from them in a few seconds here. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Escobar and Cory Goodman.
Happy to be here.
Thanks, guys. Hi.
Gentlemen, what's going on, my friends?
It's another November Monday.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
A Niners victory Monday. Sorry, Jacob Ione, on your birthday,
that's
they
tough.
lost, of
You
course.
hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but
Poor Panthers.
yeah, poor Panthers as we're doing this live on Monday night, November the 24th. So, gentlemen, thank you guys so much for doing this. I know both of you have busy schedules. We got the holidays coming up, so I just really appreciate it. And I promise we won't be loud. I know, we got some curfews here that we got to abide by, so we won't go too crazy on a Monday night. All right, so I like to begin this podcast with just simple icebreaker questions, as my tradition, unlike any other. So we all three of us are going to answer these. You guys have not seen these, so let's do it. So, first one, what would your last meal on Earth be?
Each. Um,
Only one meal? Can I have like a top two?
I mean, you could, yeah. I mean, for the wake,
I
and
got my
then
top two
for
already
yeah.
instantly.
that's definitely cheating.
Okay.
You have to pick. That's the whole point. You have to pick one.
Well, I'll get. Okay. I'll do top one, and then I'll give you guys what would have
We can
gotten
do an
second.
honorable
Okay.
mention too. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, my last meal will still have to be some In-N-Out burger. I'm gonna have to give myself. I'm a very picky eater, so two cheeseburgers, ketchup, mustard only, fry with a water. And then second close, if I was actually picking an item, was going to be, of course, sushi. I go sushi about twice a month right now. That's my average. So if I can get a legit sushi roll, no cucumber, that's what I want.
Okay.
You and I have identical In-N-Out orders, which is I'm not proud of, but
What'd you say?
you and I have identical In-N-Out orders.
No, no, just in case you didn't hear me because I was talking really fast. What's your order?
Two cheeseburgers, mustard and ketchup only, order of fries. Sometimes I'll dabble with the soda, but it's water more than not.
Have we never had In-N-Out together?
We
How?
definitely have. We probably did this exact play like 11 years ago.
Okay, because I am tripping out a little bit, but
Yeah, I get made fun of for that order
oh yeah,
every time.
everyone says I'm a kid, so
Yeah,
I accept
yeah.
it.
Nothing wrong with
Um,
that.
Yeah, that would be In-N-Out's up there for me. I feel like I have so much In-N-Out though that I don't need it to be my last meal because like if I'm about to die, I've probably had it that week. So
Oh, that's a
um
good point.
I'm gonna go. My mom makes like really good meatballs and rice that I've had since I was a kid, so I feel like that would be
Meatballs and
probably it.
rice. Okay.
Dude, it's like yeah, it's a good like tomatoey sauce. It's prime. It's prime.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd like to try it once, please.
I'm sure she might send me home with some frozen meatballs and rice after Thanksgiving, so I might have to hit you up next week.
Okay, because we're like 15, 20 minutes apart, so I'm down to come over.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
All right. The little
Guess
house
the
swap.
case the apocalypse comes, I think Corey will make it in time there. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see. Pretty simple. You guys just took it. And it doesn't really matter the place, but cheeseburger, fries, cherry Coke, maybe a root beer
Cherry
float,
Coke.
thrown in there. Yeah, I mean that's just the way to go out. And in and out, I mean double double easily. And fries have to be extra crispy on my end there. All
We're
right,
so basic.
we are so basic. That's what makes
We're
us
very similar. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
your go-to alcoholic beverage at a party.
I'm a beer guy.
Okay,
For
that's fine.
sure. I'll take some shots if the party requires it, but
Okay,
I'm just drinking some IPAs, slow and
okay.
steady.
Corey.
Mine's gonna be, I hate that I'm giving multiple mess. Mine's always gonna be mood based, So if we're partying, hanging out with the guys, playing a little beer pong or doing something, give me an IPA. Give me just nice West Coast beer. But if we're going a little harder, going a little longer in the night, maybe we're going out afterwards somewhere else, Moscow Mule.
Whoa.
Um, Give me some vodka, some ginger beer, some lime, and I can go several on those.
I have to add one. It's not necessarily a party drink, but like
Okay.
maybe like a football Sunday, just give me like seven micheladas back to back to back.
Ooh.
Oh, you like Oh,
So
Derek, do you
good.
like micheladas?
I can have one like every. It has to be like occasional. I can't do it like.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't seem like I was
agreed.
like you didn't. That's why I didn't want to call you out. You didn't seem like a michelada because I'm not a michelada guy. I can't handle
Yeah.
tomato juice in
I
my
mean, I can have like
alcohol.
Love.
maybe a couple sips, and yeah, that'll do it for me. I'm old school with my drink, Jack and Coke, easily. I don't know why
Mm,
that just gets the
the
party going.
classic.
It's
Yeah,
easy. It's
especially
easy.
karaoke night. You know what I'm saying? All right. Third question here. If you were to quit watching one sport for a year and get paid $1 million for it, which one would that be and why?
Can it just be
What's
like
the
a
other
sport I
question again?
don't want to watch?
Yeah, if you were to quit watching one sport for a year and get paid $1 million for it, which one would that be and why?
So if I love the sport that I love, that if I quit, I have to quit watching it and I'll get $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee Titans football, I think for the past what, decade?
Dude, $1 million is a lot of money. I'd quit watching every sport for $1 million.
Ooh, okay.
For a
Okay.
year, that's just for a year.
Yeah, just for a year.
Yeah, dude, pay off my house, retire,
Now
got
I
plenty of
I
football to
should have
watch.
said probably the season, but I mean we can call it a calendar year. What the heck?
Yeah, I'll quit watching all sports for a whole calendar year.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
have a really boring year, and I'd probably be really good at golf at the end because I wouldn't have anything else to
Travel,
do at that
man.
time. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, I'd probably say yeah, but I mean, this year's a little harder for me. We're going for a dynasty three-peat. Um, I guess if I could like rewatch the whole season, it's taped for me.
No,
Oh, so if I never get to see it again, oh
you got
man.
to make it harder. You got to make it harder
Yeah,
on
no, I
me.
know. Yeah, $1 million
Dude, going for
dollars.
the if you asked me this in like 2019 when the Warriors are going for a three-peat, I'd have been tough.
You are a huge Warriors fan.
Yeah.
I know, I'm a mega Dodgers fan now. It's just dynasty season. But you gave me a lot of money, so like a
Yeah,
million
thanks.
dollars, I'm pretty good at investing. I think I would probably take the million, just miss my dynasty, not get to see baseball because I'm assuming we're winning, and if I don't get to rewatch it, then I'm just gonna live through everyone else.
What if they lose and you missed the
Oh,
Then I
loss?
got the $1 million, I would have been like,
Yeah.
damn, why the
And then
fuck?
you're back for revenge season?
Why did I not effing take that money?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
points are
Uh,
well made.
yeah, because I saw this question trending on like social media. I think it was a month ago. I'm like, let me ask this to these two gentlemen. My answer might surprise some people, but I would say NFL football. I think I could go a year without. I love college a little bit more. I think just because I had that experience at San
Oh,
Jose
so you can watch
State.
college.
Yeah, I watch a little more college. But
So
yeah,
no fantasy football then for the year then?
Ah, we'll
Because you're
see.
not
I mean,
you can't commission your league then, right? Because
no, I
they're not
cannot.
watching football.
But
You
Joe,
could
but now I
commission
do.
it without watching it.
Yeah, have
You could
someone
just,
do it. But now I do
no,
fantasy Formula One at my work. Now they got me into that, so that's pretty little. It's a little confusing,
More and
but
more people are getting to F1 racing. I'm just like,
they
I
are.
like
I
it.
got haunted by how bad NASCAR was. So I just figured I just kind of like racing, but everyone's like, no, F1, it's legit, it's legit. So I'm like, maybe I'll
There's
get into it one day because I like competitive racing.
Yeah,
there's a couple good NASCAR drivers from the Sacramento area.
Kyle Larson who just won
Yeah.
the Cup Series championship for me,
Oh, you guys are
right?
throwing out some
Yeah. There's a
trivia. I
couple
wouldn't
other
know
ones
that.
Of
too. There's a
course.
couple ones from like Grass Valley.
Yeah.
Wish I could come up with a
That
name
makes
right
sense
now.
as a racing area.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks up there.
All right, gentlemen, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, what is one thing that you're thankful for? And you can give the
Uh,
generic answers of family,
Yeah, I was
life.
like, is
yeah,
it supposed to be a fun answer? Because I could
right.
just say, because of course, I love my Kyles of the world and my
Yeah.
Derricks of the world.
It's cool. I'm gonna do the cheesy answer, but it's cool still being able to be in contact with people from down there. Get to
Absolutely.
see Cory quite often with softball and stuff up here. Get to chat with you every once in a while. I got a fantasy league going with like Jacob and Brian and Adrian and some of
Yeah.
them. So it's cool to be in contact with everybody after so long.
Yeah. I would say obviously family, number one. Number two, friendships like this. I mean, it's hard to see each other when we all got our own personal lives, but to be able to stay in contact with you guys, awesome. I think that's pretty much the positive thing about social media is you can just
Yeah.
stay in contact with one another. And lastly, do you have a favorite holiday tradition in your family?
Whoa, you got to get Corey's answer. He's going to come up with some gold right
Oh,
here.
oh. Go ahead, Mr. Goodman.
Oh, I thought we already all did it. Kyle's quick. I like that. He can let me slide.
No.
Um, well, my unpopular answer is I'm very thankful for baseball right now, guys. I'm just living my best life in Northern California, San Francisco territory, and Giants fans used to just boo me and give me
Still
bad
do.
looks, but
Still
now
do.
they don't even wear their hats or their gear anymore. I don't even see Giants fans anymore, and just everyone's a Dodger fan. So I'm very thankful that just I'm living at the right time of the year of the life that I should be in. And then of course I'm just thankful for my family. Like all my family is in good health right now, so no one's like on the brink of anything. So that's lucky because that can change in a heartbeat. That can change in a couple months. So yeah, everything else is good. Everything else is good.
Awesome. All right, main questions for the both of you. How would you describe your upbringing?
Ooh.
I like this.
Um, some hard hitters.
Of course.
Dr. Golf dialing up the hard hitters.
Yeah, I went to school.
Um, mine was pretty normal. I'd say I grew up South Bay area in Sunnyvale. Only child, which is most people find surprising, but yeah, only child, South Bay area in Sunnyvale. Moved in the middle of middle school to Pleasanton. But yeah, pretty quiet. As an only child, you get bored a lot, so you got to entertain yourself. But yeah, got a pretty tight knit friend group from high school on, so I've had a pretty much had consistent group of friends for most of that time. So yeah, pretty basic for me.
Corey.
Yeah, and I was like boring, like, traditional, one brother, born in Southern California. So that's how I got my LA upbringing. And then my parents decided one day they were tired of busyness, city, crowded, expensive. They wanted to downgrade. And so they moved us up to Pollock Pines, California, went to high school in Placerville, California. Um, and then yeah, just like had a normal, just went to public school, did my thing and then went to school to college and here I am. So I'd say just, a pretty traditional California boy, Northern California, Southern California.
Yep, absolutely. How'd you guys meet? And what were both of your impressions of each other? Did you guys like each other right away, or just like I can't stand this guy?
I don't remember like my first impression, but we were pretty much homies right away, I think.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Met,
right from first tee, right?
I
That
think
would
so.
we didn't
Yeah.
meet at school or
No,
anything.
but we did like our little service projects at the same time. Did
Mm.
you start as a volunteer there?
No, I actually got
Oh,
hired there.
okay. I think you were there before me.
Yeah, I
And
got hired right on. And
yeah,
I think
I needed to do like 30 volunteer hours or something for CSUMB. So I think I was volunteering there when you were working there. And then once I was done volunteering, Nick was offered me a job. And I was like, yeah, this is easier to school people. I mean, the community was super tight knit there. Like it was such a cool uh all the staff were like super cool with each other. Like that was such a fun group of people to work with. We were going out on weekends. We had camping trips. We coached a baseball team. Like it was super sweet. Like, and I definitely like. I'm pretty sure Cory and I were homies right away.
No, then
Um,
we did a little bit of softball together. We
yeah,
played
played some
softball at
intramurals
intramurals
down
because then
there.
it was like I was ending CSUMB. I think you were right in the middle or the heart of it. We
Yeah,
mixed in some softball, and then we started having little kickbacks, and I think you started coming
yep,
over for those too.
yep.
And
You
then,
taught me how to play disc golf.
yep, taught you how to play disc golf.
Yeah,
Monterey is just known for the frisbee golf country, disc
Yeah.
I
golf
wish I was
country.
better when I was there. I couldn't really take advantage of how cool everything was because I wasn't very good yet. But
Actually, I
it'd
haven't
be
seen you
cool
play in
to.
a while. I
I
actually want to see
haven't
you
played in
play
a while. It's
again.
probably been a couple of years, but I feel like I would be solid if I went out and played again. I don't think.
You're a baseball player, softball player,
Yeah,
golfer. You're an athlete, so you got
the
you
arm is
automatically just
warm.
pick it up.
Yeah, yeah. We should do a Monterey trip. It'd be fun.
Get Derek to play with
Do a
us.
disc golf vacation, disc golf weekend.
Yeah, I still need to try it. I've never done it in my life.
That's
What? You've never done
asinine.
it?
Never done it.
Asinine.
Oh,
Yeah.
disappointed.
And we can
You
go to
live in
Natividad,
prime disc golf
Natividad
town.
Creek Park right there. Monterey, I know, has one.
Dude, yeah, the
Yeah.
Natividad Park.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a pretty cool little
Yeah,
disc golf course. You should play that.
dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like if golf was free.
Yeah.
There
I've
you
never tried
go.
it. I think I did it. Well, actually, I take that back. I did it like maybe a couple times, PE, Washington Middle School. But it's like basically here to my like ring light or
Yeah, they're not letting you. They're
distance.
not letting
Yeah.
you let those discs rip in
Yeah.
PE.
You're
That would
not
be
going to
chaos.
the, yeah, you're
They're
not
kind of
going to
fake
the,
discs too. They're not even
Yeah,
real disc
but
golf discs.
yeah.
kids would lose their heads if they
Uh,
started letting kids just launch drives. That would be terrible.
Oh yeah, that would kill someone
Yeah,
actually.
that was people would be in pain.
So, what led you guys to go to school at CSUMB, and was it hard leaving home? I'll start with Corey on this one.
Yeah, Kyle is just really aggressive and keeps trying to take the lead, so I'm just
Oh,
trying to
good. I like
play
spreading
second
the I like
fiddle.
spreading the wealth here, the spreading the love.
I appreciate that. I just want to have my shot. Um, so say the question again. I got really distracted by Kyle.
It's all good. So, what led you down to CSUMB, and was it hard leaving home for you?
Um, what led me to CSUMB was because I was already in Southern California, moved to Northern California, so I was getting some good time up there, and then I knew like I'm kind of a homebody, so I didn't want to be too far from home and too far from my parents, but I needed to like spread my wings and fly. But I was like, I can't go down too far south, and I wanted to stay in California. And then I was like, hey, what's the next thing I want? And I was like, I really want ocean. Like I've lived in like desert, I've lived in the mountains, and I've lived in city, but I haven't really done ocean. So then I was like, all right, now it needs to be affordable, baby. What's kind of affordable? And I'm like, San Francisco school is kind of expensive. The UCLA's, USC's down there, kind of expensive. And I was like, I'm gonna look and I'm like, Monterey. Huh, I've never heard of that. And I was like, oh, it was created in like 90, I think 92, 93, 94, something like that. And I was like, interesting. Just started looking at it, looking deeper, and I was like, oh my God, 2 miles from the ocean. That's awesome. And I was like, oh my gosh, it has like business and like sports management, kinesiology stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's affordable, it's by the ocean, and I'm 4 hours from home. It's a perfect trip. So let's do it. And that's the reason why I felt like it wasn't too hard for me because I didn't like pick a different state. I didn't like completely leave my friend group. I still had friends in Northern California, friends in Southern California. So I was like, this is perfect. I can come home when I want, not too far to travel, easy car drive, so I'll keep my car. And yeah, it was actually probably one of the best decisions I made. I mean, it's a small school, 5,000 people, but I mean, I have probably my closest homies now are all from like 10 of them are from CSUMB that we're still in touch with, and a lot of them are in Sacramento now too. And so, yeah, I'm stoked that I picked CSUMB. That was great.
Awesome, Kyle.
Yeah, not a super different story. I had a couple friends already going there.
We're
I
similar
went,
people.
yeah, I went to JC before I moved down to Monterey. So I moved down there when
So did I.
I went
We're
down there when I was
similar.
like 21 or so. Um, but yeah, I mean, nice, beautiful area. Obviously, like the school is in Seaside, but you're right next to Monterey. Carmel, Salinas, Santa Cruz is like probably 40 minutes away.
Yep.
It's just a lot of beautiful areas around there. And yeah, it wasn't a super hard decision. Like Corey said, it was for the location you're getting, it's relatively cheap for, for how the area that you get to live in for the time you're there. So yeah, it's just a good spot.
Hard to live by an
Um,
ocean for the cost, for CSU cost at least,
yeah,
not the UC
yeah,
cost.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty. I'm happy with the choice. It's a good spot.
And Corey, that explains your Dodger fandom. What part of Southern California were you raised in, and how long did you live down there? Um,
Yeah, raised in born and raised in like Saugus, Newhall area. Went to Henry Mayo Hospital, so giving you some good details, baby details. But pretty much in Castaic, right after the Grapevine, right next to Magic Mountain, which Magic
yeah,
Mountain, used to go there every year. But lived there till I was like 9, and then my parents, we were kind of like in the outskirts of the city. Um, and then they moved us to Acton. I don't know if you know the town of Acton, which is near Palmdale and Lancaster.
I've heard
It's
of
on
it. Yeah.
it's on Antelope. I think it's Highway 14 or something.
Okay.
Um, so it's basically just desert, desert. Moved into like a desert home, lived there through junior high, first year of high school, and then took off and moved us up here. So yeah, dude, that's just yeah, Dodgers never leaves me.
Yeah. Too bad. Too bad. I just hope they lose the next, 30, 40 years. I know Kyle's in that same boat. But at least your team is in market. At least your team's in market. My team here, don't know where we're going. Sacramento, Kalinga, Magic Mountain, we don't know where we're playing.
Man, they're down the street from me right now. I'm like 4 miles from where they're
Yeah.
playing.
I can
Uh,
walk to the freaking A's now. That's crazy.
yeah, I just steal those little Lime scooters and leave them in my garage, and then every time I need to go to an A's game, I just ride that right down Jefferson.
And I was going to save this question for later, but since we're on the topic, have you guys been to a Timu Athletics or Sacramento game? And how's the atmosphere? Because, obviously,
Are you making fun of your own team?
of course, so Timu,
Our team, Derek.
their minor league team run by little circus owner, of course.
So you
I
haven't been you haven't been yet, right?
No, I'm never going to. I've loved the River Cats. Okay, so people don't freak out. Sacramento, love going to River Cats games there. Great atmosphere. But yeah, I'm not supporting John Fisher.
Okay, my one argument will be because it's a minor league stadium, every seat is so close that when
Yeah,
I'm sitting on like that first base line where I can usually get like first row, second row, third
right,
row,
right,
those players are on the foul line right in front of me. So
right,
what, 10 to 15 feet away, and
right.
they're playing catch, they're doing their sprints, and I can call out to their names and say hello, and they'll give me the head nod.
Yeah,
And I've even called for the right fielder. I can't remember what team it was for, maybe the Twins, a right fielder. I called his name and I said, "Hey man, I'm a neutral Dodgers fan. Can I get a ball?" And he actually threw me the ball and heard me. Like it's not like the MLB environment where like everyone there's just too many people and it's all noise. In these stadiums, it's so much more intimate where the players are like they're throwing balls to the kids all the time and just every seat feels close. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm seeing these pros. Corey Seager is just walking by with the Texas Rangers just right in front of me. Hey, Corey, I miss you on the Dodgers. And he's just like, does his little nod. I'm like, he heard me, but I was at Dodger Stadium. He can't hear me. So, I mean, I just want to argue that it's kind of a cool experience having pros in a minor league stadium.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll echo that because
Okay.
I was gonna say like they have lawn seats that are just like right over the fence in right field,
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
love
it's like
that.
15 or 20 bucks most nights on especially on weeknights. And you just go sit there and put a blanket down, and you're like basically what would be the first row in the outfield. You're just like right there. You can see like the bullpen is right to your right. You can like listen to the dudes talk because like Corey said, it's quieter because there's 30,000 less people than at an MLB field. You
yeah,
can watch them like we were watching them. We saw the Tigers play, and we watched them warm the Keurig up, and they're all like drinking coffee in like the fifth inning. We're just like these clowns are just like us. Like they got cold and had to get their Keurig going. So yeah, it's fun. Like and like Corey said too, the proximity to the players is just it's cool, and
And
you wouldn't
to
get
answer the other
that.
question, Derek, I'm a huge fan of just baseball. So I don't,
oh, I
I
know.
don't call them the team I call them Sacramento Athletics, how they should be called. Waiting for some more Sacramento gear to come out, which I'll probably get, even though I'm a Dodger fan, just to show my love for a second team. while they're in my area because it's a temporary thing. But I went to one game a month. I got to average this year, which I was really stoked about. So I went one April, one May, one June, one July, all the way through September, and I'm pretty stoked. And so next year the Dodgers are going to be in town for a three-game series. I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be buying all three of those, and I'll definitely be going to some other ones. Maybe try to see the Yankees or see the Red Sox, Cardinals, because my girlfriend's a Cardinals fan.
All
So,
right, on.
but
One, I got one point of contention. It should be the West Sacramento Athletics,
I've heard that too.
for the
Yeah, I've heard
record.
the Sacramento.
just
As
kind
a
of awkward. You
proud
don't want to put.
YOLO County
We
citizen,
don't need no directions, north, south, east, west. Let's just call it.
it's just a city. It's not a direction. I
That's what
People
I
get
like,
say.
confused though.
Yeah, that's what I
huh?
say about the Niners too. Is we're playing Santa Clara, and a lot of my out-of-state friends are like, "Oh, the stadium's in San Francisco." Nope, it's not. It's in
Yeah,
Santa
would you call them the Santa Clara Niners, Kyle? No.
Clara.
I don't live in Santa Clara. Who gives a crap?
That's fair.
Oh shoot. And now Kyle, I remember when I was a kid, man, I know you would always wear, besides like first tee gear, obviously, but the hat you would always wear is a Cleveland Guardians or Cleveland Indians hat. Were you always a Guardians fan or did you like the look? Because I know the A's are kind of like your what, second favorite team or first favorite team, or it changes every year.
Yeah, I'm a Guardians fan first, and then the Bay Area teams second.
Okay.
I don't know how my A's fandom will work once they're out of Sacramento, but
For
like
now.
I don't really don't care about the Raiders anymore. After they left to Vegas, I was just
I
like,
think nobody does.
yeah,
Deuces.
yeah. But yeah, the Guardians thing happened when I was a small child. The Indians thing. Um, I
Confusing.
am
Guardians,
Native
Indians.
American, and I loved baseball from like way early, like 3 or 4 years old. I was already obsessed with baseball. Um, and so my incredibly smart decision making said that I should be an Indians fan as a Native American child.
Oh,
And so
I didn't know that.
I just got hella Indians gear, and I mean they had such a sick team when I was young too. They had, like Kenny
I did.
Lofton and Jim Thome and Bartolo Colon. Like they had like just
Omar
some
Vizquel.
Omar, dude. Yeah, they had
Sandy
Roberto
Your Indians are
Alomar,
sick. Albert
Sandy
Bell, right?
Alomar, Albert Bell. Albert Bell was like a little before my time, but like right
Okay,
when I
I was
started
yeah.
watching, he was
I'm
running
like
the
a
team.
year or two older, so that's like kind of like
Yeah.
my prime time.
Yeah, your prime was when you were 7. That's it.
I started watching baseball at 5, baby.
Yeah. But no, they had a sick squad, and I thought their mascot represented me well. Yeah. And then by the time I was like 10, I was like, I'm kind of pot committed to this. Can't really give this up. So
I like that.
uh
I stayed committed to the Titans, as you know.
yeah,
So
yeah. Been a painful existence as a Guardians fan for most of the time. We've had some good teams, but man,
Yeah.
so close.
had some heartbreakers.
And have you
So,
been to a game to at Progressive Field at all?
I
Or
have, I have.
okay.
oh, that's cool.
I went to Guardians Yankees when I was probably like 15 or 13, something like that. My dad and I went on like a road trip. Um, Started in Cleveland, hit Boston, hit both the New York stadiums.
Dang.
Um, Saw a lot of baseball games. I got a Yankees fan spilled a beer on seventh grade me as the Yankees beat the Indians, and my dad. I've never
Oh.
seen him as angry as when I got beer spilled on me as a middle schooler by this drunk idiot. I was like, this dude's gonna punch somebody, and I'm not gonna know what to do.
I will
uh,
say I've been to, I've obviously been to Dodger Stadium. I was in Cleveland for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So happens Yankees, Guardians, um,
Oh, look
and
at you.
ALCS. That was what, two years ago.
oh,
You went to
playoff
the
game?
ALCS?
Yeah.
Whoa, that was
What
a
year?
heartbreaking one.
What
Yeah,
year?
so we got there
Oh,
the day
recently.
of we went to go eat pizza because we just gone there, right? I think this was game. Which one was the walk off of
Was this
you?
like last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, David Fry. I think that was game
Ugh.
3, 4. And
Oh man.
so went to downtown, got pizza, and then they had I think blown the lead or whatever. I forgot. I think Giancarlo hit a home run. So you just see the fans just like walk by. I think the Larry Doby statue. And then all of a sudden, you see Noel's home run. Big Christmas, us tied it. And I've never seen people like just try to rush
Yeah.
center field gate. I've never
Yeah.
seen that in person. And then our hotel was about, I would say, across the street from the ballpark, kind of right field corner area. So I was watching the, and it's like a 3 second delay when you're there and between there and TV. So also I'm watching the game, right? And then I just hear "Doof, doof, doof, doof." And I'm like, I look outside, I'm like, oh, they won it. And then what do you know, David Fry hits the home run. So yeah, that's one of the loudest places I've been, I actually went to the game the next day when they ended up losing. But yeah, love Progressive Field. It's a unique ballpark. That's my story of going there. It was a
Yeah.
pretty insane story there. But I guess let's get back on track here. Let's see. How did the both of you hear about First Tee?
I heard about it because Nick Nelson came to CSUMB for when they did the whole, they did the booths for the job shadow
Right.
stuff. And I was looking because I was like, I'm kind of sports, I'm kind of business, so I'm like, I should look for anything that's anything sports or business related. And I see life and skills coach, like that was kind of what it was more like. I don't even think they weren't if it's golf. They weren't advertising golf for the position. And so I talked to him and he was just super like smiley and happy and funny go lucky, like really nice. Like I like that kind of like that personality. And I was like, hey, this sounds like right up my alley. I just I'm graduating, sports and business, want to help. And I like helping kids and like nonprofits is great. He's like, but I suck at golf. Like I don't know. I have a baseball swing. Like, I'm a baseball player. He's like, we can fix that. We can make you a golfer. Like, but like, if you're, I can tell by your personality, like, you already have that. And so, like, we just need to have the golf. And so he's like, I encourage you to apply. And then I thought about it, took the application, applied. He called me in a couple weeks, I think, brought me in, super nervous. And then pretty much I think I got the job the evening as I was at like dinner. I went home and then he said, we'll let you know, and just wasn't sure, and then got the call and he said, yeah, let's do this. And all of a sudden I'm at the first tee now, shaping up my sharpening up my golf game.
Yeah, I think I like I said, my major required me to do some volunteer hours, and I think it was just one of the options. I don't remember how I picked it. I think we just got like a list. I don't think I remember seeing Nick Nelson before I showed up there, because I probably remember that because Nick Nelson definitely leaves an impression. Um,
Definitely.
but he is a good dude. I love Nick Nelson.
I love Nick.
Um, but yeah, no, I think I just heard about it through like the volunteer options, and I golfed a little, but I definitely wasn't good at golf when I got there. I was probably still going to be shooting in like the 110s. I think like I went when I got hired. I think Nick took us to Quail Lodge as like a staff like pre-summer
Oh, I
trip,
remember that.
and I think I shot like a 121, and I was pretty pretty furious walking off the course.
I
Yeah.
was like, I think I was 138 or 140 or something.
Yeah,
It was up
yeah,
there.
that's a hard course to just put a bunch of idiots like us on.
Yeah, they're
Um,
trying to teach kids.
yeah, but yeah, I think I just found out about it through school and you know pursued it that way. And then after I volunteered there for a while, I knew people like Cory and was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick around and just
Dude, thank God
see
you
what's going
picked that. If
on.
you would have picked any other thing, then you probably would have never met you. And then,
Yeah,
we don't meet Derek, or
Yeah.
no
or
nasty
we come as
Ashley's
close.
championships for me. You probably have a couple stuff.
Now this I've always credited I don't know if you remember Brian Thompson, shout out to Brian Thompson, with the nickname of Dr. Golf. And I'm pretty sure it got like more popular by Corey and you saying it.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Kyle was the main. Kyle loved said it a lot. I mean, I just all of a sudden like Derek was no longer in my vocabulary. Once Kyle said it too many times, as you were going around, you were never Derek again. Like I think I might have
Yeah.
forgotten your last name, and I didn't even realize that you spelled it the way you did. Like I thought it was Derek for the longest time, like the basic way to spell Derek.
Like
Um,
you're
you
yeah.
you have a more fun way to spell it.
I
So
appreciate that. You can thank my
yeah.
mom.
I
is
think
it is
I
it
think
is
it
yours
got
like
to the
Derek Rose?
Yeah, it's like Derek
yeah.
Rose, Derek Lee, the Marlins and
Ooh,
Cubs
see,
first baseman.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I always knew your name was Derek, but there was definitely points in our relationship at the first tee where if someone said, "Where's Derek?" I would be like, "Who are you talking about?" I don't
And you
like,
were yeah, you were killing it at
and
golf.
they'd be like,
You were one of
"Derek,"
our
and I'd be like, "You mean
champions.
Dr. Golf? I know where Dr. Golf is."
Yeah. Yeah. Call him by his professional name, please.
Yeah. Yeah. He's at work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know
No,
why.
He's not at home.
Yeah,
I don't know why I can't. I don't know. I did not. I know I did not come up with it. I know it was a train exercise, and Nick and obviously Barry Phillips. Like, okay, guys, we're going to. My Nick impression's gone worse, by the way. So sorry, Coach Nick. Okay, guys, we're going to create nicknames for like this training exercise. Okay, so Brian Thompson's like, oh hey, I think he saw my sway like I don't know 4 times, because it was like during coaches training, and he's like, okay, I think you're Dr. Golf. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't refer to myself like that. So it's caught on though. I know Jacob still uses it from time to time.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, when I'm talking some smack on fantasy, as you guys know, I love to do it.
he does.
I
So yeah,
appreciate it. I like to dish it back. It's such a
yeah,
style.
yeah. So yeah, that nickname as I think is stuck forever and ever. And what are some of your favorite memories coaching at First Tee? Because I know Corey, you were there for about a year. I think Kyle, I know Kyle there was there a little bit longer. Um, I know summer camps were legendary
Yeah.
working there.
The summer camps were always a blast.
That was the best. They fed us too. That was really
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
yeah. The staff soccer games were a blast.
yeah,
Um, Man, I could go on for
See, mine are all
hours.
summer camp related too, because I'm like, and all the singing we did, that was like, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like, no one really likes to sing, but when everyone's just doing it, it's just kind of fun.
yeah.
Like the
I
dancing on the stage and stuff.
yeah. I got to do a really cool project with CSUMB where I would drive the van down with some of the older kids. And we did like a film project. Well, Corey, do you remember the hardcore parkour video that we made?
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it was like I could be getting some of the people wrong. It was like Richard and Robert.
Yep,
I
Oh,
think
the twins.
Selma was in the group.
yep.
Adrian might have been in there. He might have been a little too old. But man, it was just such a fun group. And it would just, I was like 24 driving a van full of like 16-year-olds to see us UMD. And they'd let us stop and get food after. It was those moments were hilarious. We had so much fun with those.
Yeah, and I was a junior mentor, I think, during that time too. So I wasn't even like getting paid, and then I was just getting treated like an assistant coach. I mean, I wasn't getting paid or anything like that. But so I appreciate you guys. You guys helped me get to where I'm at. So thank you. You guys should be
I
happy.
actually had to run the junior mentors for a little bit. I was
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
I was
that.
like, as soon as you said those words, I was like, dude, that was me. There was like, we barely were starting, and they're just like, Corey, you're gonna run it, and like, here's your schedules, and like, put them places, and I was like, let's do this, let's go.
And Kyle, this question's for you because I know you've done a lot of coaching. I know you did Little League baseball in Salinas,
Mhm.
National Little League.
Yeah.
What makes coaching
Yeah.
so rewarding?
Oh, dude, I don't even know what it is. It's just like so fun. I just get such a kick out of I just get so invested. I'm sure it's because of the kids that like makes it so enjoyable, but uh I definitely get like personally like into winning and like watching the kids succeed and building the relationship with the families. And I don't know, dude, like we did basketball too.
Yeah,
Corey and I did a basketball team
I remember that.
with Jacob and Julie, I think. We did, was it Sutterville? Is that the
That wasn't
uh
me. I didn't
oh
do
was
it.
it? I thought I had a picture
Jeff
of
and
you and
Jacob did
me.
it.
Oh, maybe it's Jacob.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got a
gotta be.
picture of all four. No, it was Jacob and Julie and me. Maybe I forget who else. But yeah, we would get all dressed up for the games. We had like dress shirts and ties for our
I wasn't
elementary
there
school
for that.
basketball games. God, I still have a basketball that all the kids signed somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't tell you why I love it so much. It's just so fun to like get invested. It's like rooting for a sports team, but you helped them get to where they are.
Yeah.
The whole
Like
fantasy
if
team.
Corey was like a scout for the Dodgers.
Ooh, dream job.
Yeah.
And this might be the most fun and interesting question because we've said his name a lot, and today happens to be his birthday on the 24th of November. Um,
Jacob.
how would
Jacob
you
Ayon.
how would you describe your friendship with Jacob Ione? And this show's going to go off the rails as soon as you answer this because I know we're going to go down memory lane and stories that we probably should not be telling, but we're going to tell
Yeah. Dude, Jacob was to me like kind of because he grew up. I'm pretty sure he grew up around Salinas.
Born
Like
and raised in
he was
Salinas.
the
Yeah.
kid in
Yeah.
the program. And to me, he kind of like when I first got there, he kind of like embodied what the first tee was about a little bit.
Mhm.
In terms of just like a kid from the area who likes kind of gets some direction and gets a job there and kind of like, starts making money for himself and puts himself on a good path. And he's just such a real dude too. Like
Yeah.
he'll just we've had some real deep talks, him and I. Like he's multiple times called me up while he's up here in Sac, and we've just gone out and gotten a beer, and it just feels like it always has, like one of those guys you could sit down with and just start just like this, like you start shooting the shit, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it's been 2 hours, and we're just talking about like every person we used to know and how everyone's doing. It's just, it's always good to see him. So he's just a great guy.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Yeah, man. I think just when I got there, Jacob was already there, and I think at first he just kind of didn't trust me. Like who's this kid that doesn't know golf? Who's kind of like this goody two shoes? Who's kind of sucking up to Nick, and he's like super smiley and happy with the kids. Like I think Jacob didn't know, like didn't really trust me. And then we had a couple times, riding the golf cart together, like setting up stations, talking, and then just as soon as he started like being able to joke around with me and we started cracking jokes back and forth, he's just like, "Oh, dude, you're cool. Oh man, Corey, what's up?" And then we're just starting to slap hands, and right away we're like, "Oh man, we got to hang out. Like, come over. Let's go do this." Like, and we started kind of almost like a wolf pack. We started adding people. I just remember all of a sudden Kyle's there, Jeff's there,
Yeah.
Julie's there. Uh, we're like, oh my gosh, this is just like the best group I've ever worked with. And I felt like we just like we're all stars and we just crushed it. And I kind of give that credit to Jacob for kind of just like everyone kind of knows Jacob and trusts Jacob. And so like him kind of knowing that I'm cool and kind of bringing me in, and that's kind of just like more and more people gravitating. It just like it was like a cool family. It was awesome. It was fun working there.
Never forget when the Dr. Golf moniker came out. He's like, Dr. Golf, Dr. Golf, Dr. Golf, like that, like in that style. He
Yeah.
says it. He would just say it. I'm like, dude,
I picture Jacob doing that. I like that.
yeah. I'm like, my real name, man, since I was what, 12, 11? Come on. Kyle, I know you got a hole in one at Twin Creeks. Who was in the
Yes,
group
thank you for
and
bringing
what
that up. I
hole?
was going to
Of
bring that up.
course.
Uh, no, that was hole number one. It was the
Okay.
first tee box. I was leading a group, like an on-course lesson. You know how like the older kids would go get to play nine. I just had a group of like it was like three, probably like fifth grade girls. And I remember specifically, I was focusing on having your weight forward when you hit like a wedge shot. I think it was like 108 yards or something. And I hit the shot and I like hit it pretty good. So I turned around and I was like, "Hey, so you guys see how I like really got my weight under my front foot at the end of my swing?" And they're all like looking around me, and then they all start screaming, and I was like, "What happened?" And they're like, "It went in." So I didn't get to see it go in.
Did you
I
run
just
down there
watched
to
it.
look or no?
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't get to watch it, but I ran down there and then I got on my walkie-talkie that we all had as coaches, and I made sure that everybody was well aware of what had just happened.
Coaches.
'Cause I don't know if you remember, Jeff had like six.
But he was a freak.
He was
Yeah.
he was an
He
incredible
was
golfer,
really good at
but
golf.
he was just dropping them in. So I had to interrupt his streak a little bit.
That's good. I only have a couple birdies in my career, so an ace
That's
sounds impressive.
still my only one. And I've been playing a lot of golf the last few years,
I still
including
need
a
to
lot
get
of.
on the board. I'm
Oh
hoping
man,
on the ace.
Oh
you'll
wow,
get
I'm
there. You'll
surprised
get
you play
there.
a lot of golf.
I
We got
do,
a lot of we
yeah.
got a lot of golf left in Jimmy.
Yes, we do. I've come close. I probably come like 4 feet, 5 feet, or it's always skidded by the hole. So yeah, I know I got to get one. My dad has one though, and I wasn't there. He was in Arizona when he did it, and then he got pissed for yeah, I know quotation mark. And then he got upset because he didn't realize this, And then obviously Kyle's is different because you're with kids and stuff, but
Yeah,
usually supposed to buy drinks for everybody. I'm sure Kyle bought Capri Suns, hot dogs, or something like that.
yeah.
Little
So
Caesar's
expensive.
Pizza. All right, gentlemen, who got you both into the game of golf?
Mine's first tee, so we got Kyle's is gonna be more interesting because I didn't golf at all, and I got my first set of golf clubs at the first tee,
Oh, there
and
we
I give
go.
them credit for me being somewhat able to like at least play with friends and like kind of keep it going. Like I can if I really tried like my hardest and practice a little bit, I could probably get like a 115. Like if I really tried and practice a little bit. To me, that seems like that's not terrible if you never golf. But yeah, first tee is what gave me my golf, so I'll let Kyle take that one.
You can go lower than 115. I've played with you several times.
Oh,
I don't, not
You,
anymore. I'm just too much of a softball player now.
yeah, the coordination's still there. I think I'd be surprised if you weren't lower than that with no
Derek, when are you gonna
practice. I
visit?
think
Can we all play golf together? I'd play.
little Monterey
yeah.
trip.
I
I
wouldn't mind for just
need to
having
come
some
up there.
fun.
Need to come up there.
Get a golf
You come
carts.
up here, we'll play golf and disc golf.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go to Apple. What is it? Apple Mountain?
No, we're not. No, that course is so hard. You'll shoot a 140 there. That course is
Okay.
so
Well, I
hard.
need. Can you find me a course that I'd be good at that I can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
play?
yeah. There's plenty down here in the heart
'Cause
of
I know Derek's
Sac
pretty good
area.
too, so I need to maybe get a nice little handicap or something.
Yeah.
No, I give lessons for free to my family, my friends, and consider you guys family. There you go.
Yeah.
All right,
Take
Kyle.
lessons.
My grandpa got me into it. I didn't like play a lot as a kid. I was very rough. When I got to the first tee, I wasn't very good. So it's not like I played a ton, but I definitely was like introduced to the game by my grandpa. He just taken me to like one of those 9 hole courses, maybe once a month or so. And then I remember he never got out of the cart. He'd like take the cart on the green and everyone there knew him and he couldn't really walk. He's just like, no one's going to give him crap because he's been there every day for like, or every week for like 20, 30 years.
Nice.
So I just follow him around, probably hit a couple of cool shots every round and then 8 putt most of the greens. And that's kind of how I started.
Nice, beautiful story. Corey, how'd you get into frisbee golf? Because I remember, you moved back to Sacramento after your stint at First Tee, and all of a sudden I just see videos of you just doing this, then it's going like near the basket, as they say. So how'd you get into frisbee golf, man?
Yeah, and I know you don't play a lot, so that's probably why
Okay,
you call it frisbee golf. Because as you get more into
disc
it,
golf, yeah, disc
you
golf. My
start,
apologies.
fine tuning your skills. We start getting into the
Terminology.
disc golf game. Um, and for disc golf, it was high school. Yeah, and didn't play in Southern California. Didn't play junior high. Never heard of it. Went to high school. Went to Placerville. There's a nice park in Placerville called Lions Park. It has 13, 12, had 13, has 12 holes. And as in high school, I met a homie named Jason, and him and his dad just like played disc golf. And one day he just goes, "Hey, what are you doing like Thursday? We're going to Lions Park, in Placerville. What do you want to do? You want to play disc golf?" I was like, "Or you want to play frisbee golf?" He probably said frisbee golf back then. And I'm like, "Frisbee golf? What's that? With a whammo frisbee?" Like, I like to play sports, so I'm down. He's like, "I got you some discs." Took me out there, and I'm just throwing them, chucking them, hitting trees. But I'm like, dude, this is so rad. I'm like, and this is free? He's like, yeah, you just gotta have the discs. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then just started getting into it, started buying stuff, and then realized disc golf is golf. And I probably have like, I don't know, 50 discs, and each disc is like a club and can do different things and goes different directions. So I'm pretty on addicted now.
Yeah, man. I teach you real golf, and then you can teach me how to disc golf. So we have a deal. You saw it here live on this show.
Thank you. I'd like to get under 100 if that's possible.
Yeah, you will. You will.
There'd be a lot of trips to Sacramento for Derek to make that happen.
Now we'll take Jacob, and I'll take the private jet out of Salinas
Oh,
Munis.
there, obviously,
Okay. Or
obviously.
here,
Oh, the
was
private
it
jet.
Joby Aviation with the self-flying helicopter when that gets regulated by the FAA? So, gentlemen, I've always wanted to ask you this because when you guys came back in my fantasy football league, and we'll talk about that in a couple more questions here. I just saw this random team name called the Nasty Ashleys,
Hmm.
and I know that is your softball name. So I just want to know the origin of where that where that team name came from. Whose brainchild was it?
Do you want me to say, Kyle? I
Yeah,
guess
you were
I'll.
there first. You were there first.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because you were just so quiet, so I wasn't sure. Um, so yeah, it's actually not that cool of a story itself, but for softball, we just really couldn't think of a name, and Kyle wasn't on the team yet, so like I found some friends in Sacramento, and which is cool because as you can see, while me and Kyle are such good homies, he moved to Sacramento. As soon as the spot opened, I hit him up, and he's like, I'm down to play softball," and he joined the team right away. But we had a girl on our team, and her name was Ashley. And she was actually really likable and really
Really,
friendly, and she was
really
kind of like
sweet.
the
Really
captain of the
sweet.
team. She
Yeah,
was a sweetheart. So we're
yeah.
like, well, we don't want to be like, the cute something, or like we want to describe something. We're like, Ashley's kind of a cool name. We like that name. Like, oh, let's make our team sound more mean and angry. How about, yeah, what about nasty? What about nasty Ashley's? He's like, I don't know. I kind of like it. Everyone's like, what do you guys think? We're like, we don't have anything better. I'm like, yeah, I think nasty Ashley sounds. Everyone's gonna think we're like a weird like girl team or something, or we're just like mean girls. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And and we actually didn't think it would stick, honestly, but we ended up winning like. I don't know,
11.
we're at over 10, but
I
we
think
won
it's
like
11.
three in a row championships, then a break, then another two, and then we kept using the name. So we're like, well, crap, this is now a championship level name. And so we haven't really gone back, and we'll probably always be that name. And so when me and Kyle decided to team up, you had a spot open, and I only wanted to do it if I had a buddy because I'm already invested in so many leagues, as you know. I think I'm in 6 or 7 now right now, but I was in 8, and so I was like, Kyle, help me out. And then it was actually Kyle. I think you get the credit, right? That was
For
you thought of
naming
the
the fantasy
you,
team
you were
that?
you were like, let's just be Nasty Ash. Let's
It's
keep our
got it's the name already had a championship ring to it, so
it
it just
bleeds,
felt
yeah, it
right.
bleeds champion. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and then did we win one? Did
I
we
think we won our first one, didn't
Derek, did we
we?
win? Do you have the records out, Derek? Did we win one with that name?
Maybe
I
just
will.
check if our name is etched on the trophy or not.
I will pull that up, but I was going to ask you guys a follow-up question. So, in softball, what positions do you guys play, or is Corey like player manager, or
I'm we all move around because me and Kyle we kind of have like we're kind of like an athlete team, with guys and girls. We're co-ed, so half guys, half girls. And we all play everywhere. Like Kyle kind of is our main left center fielder, but then he's our like our number two pitcher. So like if we don't have our stud in, Kyle comes from the outfield as like our closer and comes in. And if Kyle needs to be used in the infield, then if I'm missing or people are missing, Kyle does short or third, and I primarily play short or third as well. But I can play second if I'm needed. And we have another coach, Ben, who's our friend, mutual friend, and he pretty much just tells me and Kyle wherever we're needed for our team to play. So it's pretty cool.
awesome?
Yeah. I think that's why we've been so good is like we probably have like four guys who could just play whatever position. And we all have our like bases, like when we're all there, I'm playing left center. Corey's playing probably short or third with Josh playing short or third. Uh
Yeah,
Tyler's playing left. We all got our spots, but then like if Corey's out, I can play short, or like Corey can swing over to third and I can play short.
yeah, we're all
Um,
baseball players from like high school, so the
yeah,
guys are at least. So it's like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
yeah, we
Exactly,
all
like
got everything pretty covered.
the John Fogerty song. So, actually, first time ever going to share my screen here, and we're
First
going to
time
see the
ever.
record book of my our fantasy league. So, combined it, folks. I
Oh,
would have to blame Corey. Why am I a maniac on fantasy football? And we all talk trash to each other. It's all in love, but so 2013, I was what, 14, 15? Barely heard of fantasy football. And Corey's like, "Hey, I got a spot. We need one spot. Oh, let's ask Dr. Golf." I'm like, "Sure." I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I think my first year almost made playoffs. I want to shout out Eric Decker, by the way. I'm sorry I benched you against the Chiefs. It was like week 13. He scored like 40 points.
never forget those.
Oh yeah, I remember. And then Adrian started going off, but it was all fun. So there you see Corey right there, one of three people to win multiple titles. He won in our first. Well, Corey was commissioner in 2013, so I always count that year, and then
Okay.
2023 with Kyle.
I
Uh,
need a I need
That
a
was a good team.
2023 on the championship line by my name.
Because I do multi-time champions, brother. So right there,
Oh, so you need both
yeah.
years of okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
So
all right.
when you come back, because I know there's going to be a win, may not be next year or the following year, but yeah, you might add it. But look at that playoff spot right there. Boom.
Every year?
Corey's right there.
We never say never. There's going to be a
Never.
random year, where me and Kyle are just, we're down a couple teams and we want to live the magic for 1 year. We'll just sign on for a 1 year contract and we'll just take down the ship to get our names on the ship one more time. So everyone
It
goes, I hate those guys. And then we'll bounce.
It's
it
all
is super
good.
fun to co-manage too. We always go
Yeah.
to Buffalo Wild Wings and do the draft
That is pretty
together.
fun. That is good to
Yeah,
draft
it's a
together. It's
good
fun.
time. Yeah.
So that was gonna be my next question. You guys won it in 2023. I forgot to pull up the record that you guys had. I know you guys finished like I think the second seed and then just ran the table. I think you guys went 11-5, maybe. That might be right. But Kyle, did you do the brunt of the work?
No, no.
Okay.
I'd say if anything, Corey probably did a little more. It was probably
Okay.
like 60-40. It was like we'd always talk about pretty much every move. But yeah, I'd say the draft was directly 50-50.
Just the
Okay.
waivers. I did a little bit more waivers because I have so many
Yeah,
teams. I just kind of do them all in a row, and then I'd say, Kyle, what do you think of these pick players?
yeah.
But
Like,
Kyle would
or we'd
always
kind
like
of prompt it,
help me
and
with
then
the
we'd kind of talk through whatever.
exact.
Um,
Yeah,
No, awesome.
more fluffy.
And for gentlemen, or for you gentlemen, what are some tips that you guys have to be successful fantasy football players for people that, are inexperienced or just want to get started or maybe want to get their wives, girlfriends playing? Do you have any insightful tips besides banning Derek from the league?
yeah, that well. All right, I had one, but you took it away. Um,
No, that's the
um,
that's the emergency red button there, folks.
yeah, I think if it talking about like the trying to get wives and girlfriends and people not interested in it is like make dumb rules that are like fun. Um, like I there's a league that I was talking to my friend about who if your quarterback gets a tackle, it's like 30 points. So if they throw an interception but then tackle the guy, then you like win your week. So like stuff like that, like I feel like silly little stuff to get people
I
like
couldn't. I wouldn't be
interested.
able to handle that, but I'm obviously too
Yeah,
young.
but that's not a
No,
hard
for sure.
rule.
I get
That's
it.
like a goofy
To get
rule.
you into it.
Yeah.
Corey.
Um, Well, to get into it, I always say play with your friends. Don't ever play with random people. Random people don't trade, and they try to do unfair trades. So my thing is, I got into it by finding a bunch of friends in a group that all were willing to play, that were willing to start off doing it for free, and that helps. And then as you start getting more into it, you start saying, "Hey, let's put a little bit of money on it." And we start off with 20, then we go to 40, 50, 100. And I think now I'm at like 120, so not nothing too bad. But no, play with friends, watch football, and if you actually want to be good, like if you're trying to be really good, I'd say you need to watch the games. And I'd recommend finding a podcast, honestly.
Mhm.
You can find something just to give you like the weekly like updates. I just like to hear who's injured. Like I like to hear who of the week, which quarterbacks aren't playing, because then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna downgrade their receivers, I'm gonna downgrade their running backs because one of their main players is out, so I think they're gonna perform differently. If you don't know who's injured or you're not watching the games, it's all just luck and numbers and just like statistics. And you're just trying to guess, well, they've been averaging high numbers, so I'm going to keep picking them. And that can be fun, I guess. But to me, it's fun when you're actually watching it and you're with your friends and you're trading. So I don't even do random leagues anymore. Like I'm only, all my leagues are, I know at least 5 people to 6 people in each league I'm in right now. And I'm friends with those people. Like I don't even play leagues people I don't like anymore because what's the point? I just leave the league because it's not fun anymore. So.
Yeah. And the beauty of what their situation, ladies and gentlemen, is that the champions in my league get 5 year exemptions. So I think most people think, oh, I have to play the 5 years, but I think they kind of do it the smart way because they're just like taking year off, maybe two, and then they'll come back. So
Perfect. See, Kyle, we got like 3 or 4 years left on our team. We're good.
Yeah.
He'll let us know our last year of exemption, then we'll win it.
Yeah.
of
We'll get
course,
5 more again.
of course, I always extend the invite. And Corey, I know you mentioned you're like in 6 leagues, man. How do you manage? And I know there's probably a million people in America, maybe around the world, that are probably in multiple leagues, five, six. How do you manage like your social time, with your family, and then also trying to maintain, that excellence of fantasy football?
Oh man. Well, I always first thing is don't be playing on different apps, Try to put it all on the same app because I
That's a
do
good
all
one.
my stuff on the same days, Like I know my football days. We all know those football days, right? We got Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays for the most part, except for they try to throw in some Saturdays, which really get
Yeah,
you
at the end
once
of
in a
the year.
while.
Yeah.
I don't like those or the Black Friday now, but for
Yeah.
the most part, I know my days, so I'm just checking before each day, and I'll just check in my phone and I'll look real quick to make sure I have no injuries. I'm not like on my phone for hours, checking each slam, everything. I do it real quick, Week starts, check the waivers, do my waivers, put them in, wait, wait till Saturday, wait till Sunday, and the games are about to start, pull it up, see who's injured, or did my waivers, see who's injured, switch people out, or if I need to do an emergency waiver, like, oh man, I did not pick the right people for my waivers. Let me go to emergency waiver, do it out, but I'm just checking for the, and then I'm done. And I actually don't even check my phone on Sundays or Thursday. No, just Sundays. I check it on Thursday, check it on Monday, I'll check it on Sundays because I get too frustrated being in 6 leagues. As you can imagine, some of your teams are killing it, and the other teams you're like, oh my God, I'm against Lamar Jackson. He just he
Yeah.
just got 45 points. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be in that mindset or my whole day's ruined. So I just don't watch the phone. I watch football and I kind of know, have an idea if I'm doing well or not by who's scoring touchdowns. And that's it. I just enjoy my Sundays. So I feel like it seems crazy. Like I could probably add a couple more leagues actually and be fine because my routine's so ingrained now. It only takes me, a few minutes to look at waivers, a few minutes to do this, and I just put my phone away. So, I figured a way to make it work, and it's a good way to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in different places, as you can imagine, and they're just different areas. You guys are in Monterey. I know Kyle's nearby, but still, so it's nice to connect with people through fantasy and, hey, how's New York? How's St. Louis out there? So
Amen.
it's good stuff.
And and now we're going to pivot away from fantasy football. I know that, I'm sorry, we probably just lost some viewers because some people don't give a crap about fantasy football. But how did First Tee led you down to your guys' career path? And what are you guys doing now?
Kyle,
Um,
I just talked a bunch.
yeah, you're good. I actually just went back to working at a golf course in Sacramento. So definitely played a huge part in that because when I left Monterey initially, I transferred. I didn't transfer, but I came up to work at the First Tee up here in Sacramento, at Hagen Oaks, and met a bunch of really good people up there. And I was with the city of Sacramento for just over 5 years, working at a community center, which was not super different from the First Tee Monterey County. Um, and then yeah, just I got a love for golf, being around it so much. And like Corey said, we're both just athletes and like to play sports. And golf is the one that agrees with my body the most at this point in my life. So just is it's fun to be around a sport, and I definitely got that was instilled in me at First Tee for sure.
And before Corey goes, did you ever think you would get back and working in golf or?
Um, I didn't think I would, but um, I also liked it a lot, so I never like eliminated it in my head. Um, but that wasn't the plan to go back for sure. I thought it was just kind of a good like kind of college job. But I mean, I just love being around the game, and people together who all like the same thing, like golf is like it's an infectious environment to be in.
And which golf course are you at? So Corey can take lessons and fellow
Hagen
people.
Oaks.
Sacramento.
I got
Hagen
Corey.
Oaks.
I
Oaks
got some
again.
lessons for you, Corey.
Okay, okay.
I
That's the
got.
course
The
I
driving range is nice.
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
see
can get us
commercials
a
for them.
yeah, I can get us a bucket if we want
Okay,
on the house, and
okay.
can't get the
Ooh,
beers
this guy.
comped, but they
I
do have them
roll.
there. So
Corey, what about you? What career, how did First Tee help you go down this career path, and also what are you doing now?
Yeah, I don't know if career path wise, it helped me just because it just helped me with managing kids, creating work plans, being like a leader, creating. And so that helped me just with get more business sense, practical sense. Because after that, I switched, jobs. I went to like enterprise, went to the rental car business. Now I'm working for an insurance company, but like it just taught me to appreciate business, how to understand how to work, make your money, follow a schedule. Because like I was doing part-time jobs for the most part, before First Tee. First Tee was one of my first full-time jobs. And so that's when I started really understanding to like what it's like to work full time and make money and have benefits. And so it just yeah, it was really good just teaching me just how to be a good professional individual, get a job. And so and then what was really nice working there was with the kids, the learning all the core values, the honesties, the just all the good stuff that was we were teaching to the kids because I could see the kids, some of them didn't have a lot of direction, they were all like some were a little wild, some were a little crazy, a little feisty, but like us trying to like just like put good thoughts, good vibes, just like show them like you can do golf, you can have fun, but you can still be respectable and stuff. And that was like just really like that as I was kind of moldable, mendable too, because I was only, I was like 20, 24, 25, I was younger too. And so that kind of really just helped me like, oh man, we need to help the kids. Like the kids are really easy to like, they're going to be listening and they're really easy. Their minds are, they listen to direction well. And so if we can be nice and be good to the kids, they're going to grow up to be great individuals. And so I feel like First Tee was just, that was really awesome. Like just kind of seeing what First Tee's doing with the kids. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And so I feel like I kind of try to be that with kids now. Whenever I see kids, I try to like be nice, be proper, be polite, and like, don't swear. Do stuff because they're watching and they want to be just like you. So,
Right.
I want to try to be as I have a nephew, he's 10. So I want to, be be a good professional for him. And I think First Tee really kind of instilled those values in me, and so I try to pass them along. So I really appreciate it.
And what are you doing now for your career?
I'm clearly nothing to do with kids or anything like about that, but no, I work for just a commercial insurance company. So handling basically handle a lot of like litigated type claims, like injury claims. So people suing companies, people getting injured, and so I'm helping out with going into court stuff, dealing with mediations, arbitrations, just things of that nature. So it's not super fun, but it gives me a work-life balance and allows me to travel and do things. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah. And you're helping out people too.
Helping
You
out
know,
businesses, which I guess I
yeah.
mean some businesses do need it. There are a lot of good businesses out there that are not being protected. So it feels good to at least kind of help them.
Yeah. And what is the greatest advice that your parents ever gave each of you?
Hmm.
Mine, the phrase perception is reality is like my favorite thing that my dad used to say all the time.
Yeah.
Basically, like almost like reality doesn't really matter, but it's how people perceive it. What is like what matters? And kind of like in a professional context, like um, as an example, I think Nick Nelson used to kind of talk about this too. Um, what like if a kid goes home from camp and had a really terrible day, and then the last thing that happened was like him and Cory had a really fun conversation about baseball or something. He's going to go home and he's going to tell everybody the last thing that happened at camp, which was him and Cory talked about baseball and they have the same favorite player.
Right.
And then that perception of that family is going to be that that kid had a great day and the camp was awesome, even if that kid had it rough for the whole time. And it's just kind of like the the impact you make gets spread out very quickly, you know, and like if one person likes you, that person's gonna go tell people, and that people those people are gonna go tell people. So like if you're doing a good job at work, like that'll get out. But also the flip side, like if you work really hard and then a customer sees you being lazy and being mean to a kid right before you get off of a long shift, that person's going to think you're terrible with kids and he's going to go tell his family that that's going to get out that way. So like how people perceive you is reality. Like that's the reality you're judged by. It's not necessarily true, but that's the reality you're judged by. And I feel like that has stuck with me in every job I've had. Like that's kind of something I think about a lot.
Love it. Mr.
I'm
Goodman.
not gonna lie, Kyle is much more wholesome than me. And I don't remember, those kind of wholesome quotes and whisperings. So just the one thing I just remember that stuck with me, which I think has made me a better person personally, is all they said. One of the main things they said just as I was a kid was, Corey, if you ever are caught smoking cigarettes, we will disown you. And they were super serious. And I never touched cigarettes my whole life. My grandparents all did, and two of them died from emphysema early, and they had breathing tanks.
Mm.
And so that kind of just, I'm just gonna say that not in anything, no, nothing, no advice for anyone. It was just more of I learned from that advice was I am never ever going to touch the things because I do not want to die and I do not want to have cancer. And so I've been never touched it in my life, and I'm very thankful that they pretty much told me they would kick me out and never talk to me again if I did it. And I really respect that. So not as wholesome as Kyle, but that's just something that's always stuck to me. And so kids, don't smoke cigarettes.
Hey, good health advice. And
That advice is going to keep you alive. That's good stuff.
yeah, exactly.
I'd
Well,
like to get to 100. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are getting older, and like the 70 really is the new 50. Like my parents are like 70 now and they still look really good. And I remember my grandparents when they were 60, they could
mhm.
like barely walk and they had like no hair and like they were in canes, and like I feel like now everyone's like seems way more spry, and it's refreshing. It's nice.
Longevity, man.
E-cigarettes.
And I know Kyle talked about Coach Nick advice and remember when I was, becoming an assistant coach, and I'm sure you guys heard this too. I'll just never forget him saying this. He's like, "We gotta treat this like it's Disneyland." And I'm like, "What? Oh, there's no Mickey Mouse here." I don't know what they got. I don't know what they got in London. They don't got Disneyland in London. But then I'm like, then Kyle just brought it up. I'm like, yeah, kids are gonna remember kind of like the last conversations you had with them. So that just trickled to my mind. Um, what is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self? Don't be a Dodger fan.
Yeah, my younger
A lot of
self
deep
knows
questions.
that already. Um, I don't know, just it's tough. It's tough. Just like make the most of everything. I think like
Mhm.
each situation you find yourself in, just go after it and be the best version of yourself if you can.
Mhm.
Just treat others the way you want to be treated. I feel like kids are just bullies. And like I
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember being bullied. I remember being a bully. When you're a kid, you just if you think you have the upper hand, you just want to kind of be a little bit more of the aggressor. So I just feel like I would tell my younger self just be nice to all the kids, no matter who's mean or who's not mean, because some kids, if you're mean to them, it could destroy them, and others they don't care, but like you never know who it affects. So just be kind.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we did not get any questions from the Q&A. I think everybody was still trying to buy their Otani or Yamamoto gear. So, gentlemen, you have the chance to
Yeah.
ask me one question, about anything.
Hmm.
What is your? You already talked about your worst fantasy move of not starting Eric Decker,
Eric
so I can
Decker,
ask
yeah, I'll
that
never forget
question.
that because Corey roasted me for it. Yeah,
Yeah. Corey is saying mean stuff. He hadn't talked to his younger self yet.
that's why I got banned from the league forward on, and then we made up. It's all good, folks. We all love each other.
Derek, my question for you is which sport are you absolutely trash at that you wish that you were better, or you wish you started it young, or
Ooh,
you just wish you would have got into it more? But like, what do you consider that you're bad at, and you wish that you got more into it, you were just better at it?
man, that's a good one.
Sport, no instruments, none of these little baby hobby things. I want a sport. Give me a sport that you're bad at that you wish you were an athlete at.
That's a good one. Um, hmm. Baseball, I got better. Unfortunately, dislocated kneecap that took me out. Golf, we know what golf does. Bowling, started doing bowling, my work league. I would say probably I was gonna put hockey, but that's more just because we don't have any hockey rinks here. I would have loved to play hockey. I think I could have been like
Well, you could have been pretty decent.
forward winger, yeah. Didn't know how to skate, still don't know how to skate. We'll learn how to skate. I would say
That's a good
track.
one.
I would say track because I know when I was in middle school, besides, I know I was coined like the fastest man in the West from doing those check-ins, and you guys saw my speed, picking up
Of
kids and
course. Oh yeah, you're the best.
navigating their car. Um, I would say track because I suck at like distance. And so I would always try to impress the chicks at Salinas High, PE, just, oh, I'm gonna take off and have like first. And then we do a jogathon. And then, yeah, I would be like 20th, 25th, 20, 30th. So I would say track. I would honestly say just like running in general.
Oh,
It's something
good.
I
Good
got to
one.
get better than that. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
hear. I want to hear Corey's answer to that question
Oh.
because he has to admit he's bad at something. So speak
Trick question. I'm saying
Question.
everything.
up.
Oh man. Um, Probably soccer. I just feel like there's so much money to be made in soccer. I'm just the business side of me, and just as a worldwide sport, and the top soccer players are just so popular. And I was just like, I just wasn't skilled enough to dribble, didn't have the accuracy, didn't have the boot, I was just kind of pushing kids and kicking the ball kind of wild. And like I really wish that I would have been like my parents would have just been soccer people in the beginning and not baseball people, because I thought I have a decent enough height, almost 6 feet. So like I feel like I could have been a decent soccer player, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't play soccer at all. I'm
Yeah.
done. Kyle, what about you?
um, I kind of wanted to say soccer as well. I was like
You pick a
decent.
lot of things I say, I'm just
Yeah, yeah. I was like decent at soccer, but I was never like good. I was really bad as a kid, and then I feel like when I was living in Seaside and hanging out in Salinas with everybody, and we play soccer games all the time, I got okay. But I probably have to say soccer. I don't think.
I'm glad I went first.
Yeah, yeah. I feel lame using yours. Can I do F1? I didn't get exposed to
I was
F1 as a
surprised you didn't
kid.
say F1.
I would love. I feel like
I'll give you motorsports.
yeah, I'll do motorsports. I feel like
You
you
got a
have to be really
strong neck. All
small.
that force.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be well trained at that by now. That'd be cool though to be like driving those cars around.
I think you make a lot of money doing that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a big market for it in the U.S. I guess
No, no, you're going.
NASCAR,
You're,
but I'm
you're gonna
not
be
turning
worldwide
lefts.
if you do it.
I'm a road racer. Yeah, I drive like a grandpa too, so I don't think it fits very well. But maybe if I was brought up different. All right, Derek.
Alrighty.
Okay, okay, I've got a good one. I've got a good one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, what sports team over your life that you've hated have you secretly like kind of liked the players on, but you just can't root for the team because
Mm,
of who they are? Like my example would be like, I thought Kershaw was dope. But I was
Me
like,
too.
God, he's a Dodger. And I like don't and
yeah.
Dude,
like
he's so
Mookie
good.
Betts. I really like Mookie Betts.
Oh, me
And I'm
too.
just like, dude, I just I wanna root for these guys, but I can't. Or like Jeter back in the day. Like
Yeah.
Jeter was sick, but I was like,
Those
that's a
Yankee teams were sick
Yankee.
back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. So like what's the team that you like would have rooted for without your allegiances, but you had to hate them because of the circumstances?
Probably Lakers, Kobe Bryant, right?
I'll go by sport. So baseball, I've always
Ooh,
loved like the
sport.
history of the Yankees and Dodgers just because the game wouldn't be where it is. So the reason my favorite number is 42, Jackie Robinson, because without
There you
him,
go.
I probably wouldn't be here talking about it. Sports, the world would be vastly different. That's my favorite uniform number. Obviously, for Pat Tillman, that was his college number as well, and also Ronnie Lott, my dad's favorite 49er, Hall of
Hmm,
Famer Ronnie
that's
Lott.
some good trivia.
So I would say, yeah, like that in terms of those two teams, like the history. I mean, you can't ignore what the Yankees, with Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Casey Stengel. List can go on and on. Whitey Ford.
Ooh, you're going some history.
Uh Man. I would say Big Poppy, just because he's fun loving, had great, good clutch hitter in the playoffs.
Why
Uh,
why couldn't you root for the Red Sox?
because it's Boston, man.
You have a thing against Boston? You just hate
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah. No, I would say since they're a divisional rival of ours, but they made the ALCS this year. Seattle Mariners, but I love Ichiro. Ichiro's my guy.
Oh yeah, Ichiro is dope.
Just the way he played the game,
That was a dope time.
modeled my batting stance after him in Pony League. Just like, the little this. Just played the game the right way for all 162 and probably can still play even though he's like close. You think he's in his 50s now. Just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Um, Football, I don't want to say the Chiefs. I don't want to say the Patriots. Man, division rival too, but all around good guy, Larry Fitzgerald. The dude
Yeah.
is just a total badass on the field. Probably was going to be Super Bowl MVP in that Super Bowl against the Steelers. If it wasn't, for, Santonio Holmes. Hockey, Sidney Crosby, just because Penguins defeated the Sharks in 2016. And then basketball, believe it or not, folks, I used to hate this guy 10 years ago because he was on the Cavs.
Dang it.
But you know what? I'm a
LeBron.
LeBron. I like Braun for whatever
Yeah, me
reason.
too.
I
Me
think
too.
just because, and besides, putting away the on-court accomplishments, one of the greatest player, probably, him and Kobe, greatest player of our generation. Um,
Agreed. Those are the
yeah,
top two.
yeah. Just the way that throughout his career, he's never gotten in trouble. He's done right by his family, gives back to his community in Akron, Ohio, opened up a damn school, serving the kids.
Yeah, Steph didn't do that.
But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I would say LeBron 1A, and then Kobe, I think, man, just life cut short.
Shaquille, Magic. I'll just keep naming them. Yeah.
Shaq was fun
Lakers.
loving. I will throw in, he wasn't really a rival because the Sixers had their run, but Allen Iverson, he was my
AI
AI was
was the
fun back in the
AI was
day.
fun. I'll throw in Steve Nash in there as well, because I love Steve Nash, just love the way
Steve
he
Nash and Jason Kidd were fun.
played the game and Jason Kidd. So yeah, that was kind of a long-winded answer to
yeah.
the question.
All good. Remember when Deron Williams was sick for like 3 years and then he just fell off the planet? That was crazy.
Who?
Deron Williams, he was in that like point guard
Dude, for
with
the
like
Jazz?
yeah,
That was crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, then all of a sudden he was just gone.
yeah.
I think he
He was on
plays
the
golf
Nets too.
now. I think he plays golf.
All those dudes probably do. It's a lot of
Yeah,
messing around the
yeah,
knees.
yeah. So just a couple more, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. I can't go without the show cannot end because a certain gentleman's wearing the jersey of the two-time reigning defending champions. Corey, I'm not going to really ask you about this past season because expectations were high, and obviously that 18 inning thriller. Who did not stay up to watch that? We all did.
I did. That
But
was great.
as a Dodger fan, how magical was this past? I would say decades the run has been, going from like what 2016, 17. Obviously, you know, Astros asterisk in that 2017 year, but besides that, man, this run of excellence.
Besides the trash stars cheating, of course,
Yeah.
asterisk that. I've just been living my best life. I've been seeing more Dodger fans come out of the shadows and put their hats on and join me. We're all singing together and we high five and dance. Kyle sees it. Just the life is good up here in California because California has a lot of Dodger fans and I'm just living the best time of my life. We got 10-year deals going around on our team. We have 5-year deals. Kyle knows like baseball is just like it's Dodgers versus the world now, and it's just, I'm just living in this world, and gosh, it's good times, Derek. Times are good.
I would play I Love LA, but I don't want to get copyright struck down by YouTube. I will have to ask you, who's your all-time favorite Dodger? And you can't, obviously Otani, I think a lot of people are jumping on the Otani
You
band.
only get to pick one.
I know there's a lot of them throughout the
Yeah.
years, but I'll go with the childhood one just because everyone only knows the recent Dodgers. So if you name a childhood one, if you don't know who it is, then you obviously aren't a real fan or a real baseball fan. I'm not saying you guys aren't, but just in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'll go my lefty love, Sean Green,
Sean
from the
Green.
Blue Jays. He had the romantic four home run night. I think it was against the Brewers. And he was just a 40 home run. Dude batted like 270 to 310, like had a little bit of speed. He was kind of slender. Like I wanted to be like him, because he had that like that 6'4" frame, that baseball frame. And it was right around the times with like we had like Todd Zeile, Mike Piazza, Grizzlonic, Kevin Brown pitching, Darren
Kevin
Driver.
Brown.
I'm throwing out some names, but like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like Sean Green then, now, Freddie Freeman. I'm still going white lefty magic apparently. Big fan Muncie. I'm a big fan of Muncie. Got him from the A's. Thank
Good
you,
time.
thank you, Sacramento, or thank you, Oakland, I mean.
Oakland. Yeah. Sacramento.
They're just Sacramento A's now to us, to us Sacramentoians.
West
Uh,
Sacramento.
but yeah, man. I'd say Sean Green.
Sean Green. Yeah. He had a good, like, what, 3, 4 year stretch, maybe like 5 year stretch where,
Yeah, we had him for a bit. Close one was Matt Kemp too. I was a big Matt Kemp fan. He was just ripped. He was just so like confident. But he shouldn't have dated Rihanna. Dude, he dated Rihanna and then he lost his swing and was never the same.
What are you supposed to do?
He
That's
got
just
whipped.
no one's saying no to Rihanna. That's just how
he just
shit
wanted to sing.
happens.
He got his batting average got disturbed.
Like,
Nice.
that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I'll give it to
Yeah.
you. Dude,
Yeah.
you get that one? That was
Yeah.
good. I
Now,
couldn't think of any songs fast enough, so I was like, this is Derek's time to shine.
now, Kyle, obviously the Warriors just won 134 to 117 over
Yes, we
Utah.
did.
That's not really an impressive win because it's Utah. Sorry,
Yeah,
Utah.
every win's an impressive win in the
Yeah.
league.
But as a Warriors, first off, when did you become a Warriors fan? And also, what championship team was your favorite out of this dynasty that we've created?
Yeah. I think I Jason Richardson and Monte Ellis were just like super fun players to watch. And when
Yeah.
I picked up basketball a little later than the other sports, I was probably like 10 or 11. And the Warriors were awful.
Yeah.
And then I think so it was like, I mean, the names are gross. It was like Dunleavy was one of our best players. You like a
You
Donald
have Baron
Foyle and
Davis?
Speedy
Very,
Claxton. Baron Davis wasn't there yet.
Okay.
Uh, um, we had Monte and Richardson, Andres Biedrins
yeah.
for the
Oh
Warriors
man.
enjoyers.
Ike
Um,
Diago, Ike
Ike
Diago, or
Diago was a wasted pick, unfortunately. Anthony Randolph was a wasted pick. Brandon Wright was a
Anthony
wasted pick. We had a
Randolph.
lot.
Marvin
But
Bagley.
the team that definitely like locked in my fandom was the We Believe team in
Same.
2007.
Yeah.
Uh, Watching them, the Don Nelson, we got Steven Jackson and Al Horford right after they had Malice in the Palace and they got traded to the Warriors.
Yeah.
And then they ended up being like great, beating the 1 seed Mavs. It's just so sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Winning's great, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is.
It
It sure
is.
is.
Ugh.
And then did you say my favorite title?
Yeah. Out of the four.
Definitely 22. Definitely
Okay.
22. 15 was great. because it was the first one, and uh,
40
even
years. Yeah.
yeah, the Warriors were good going into the year, but no one thought they were going to be a championship team. So that one was great. And then the last one, Steph getting the MVP and beating the Celtics, who were favored by like, I don't know, like ESPN metrics had us as like 11% chance to win or something ridiculous. And just watching Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart get absolutely chewed up for 6 games was so glorious. And Steph talking trash after that Draymond game and him getting all hype at the crowd and dropping 43 or 47 or whatever it was in TD Garden. So that year was just a little bow on top of Steph's legacy. So it was so fun to watch.
Yeah, man. Incredible run. Not sure if they'll get one more just because I don't know what Kaminga we're gonna get. The board Kaminga, the I don't want to be here, Kaminga. I want to be with
His
Kaminga. So
his head's just not in the right spot.
yeah.
It's
And our
unfortunate.
last sports question goes to my man Corey. So Corey, I know you like all LA teams, obviously, but I know the question I'm gonna go to, how in the world did you become a Tennessee Titans fan? And is there any hope for a Titans Super Bowl in our lifetime?
I can't have all great teams. I got my Dodgers and I got my Lakers, but gotta have one of those underappreciative, underperforming teams. But no, so as a SoCal kid, Dodgers, Lakers, right? There's no football when I'm down there as a kid. There's no there's no Raiders, there's no Chargers. And so my being I'm a baseball and basketball, I was a pretty big enthusiast. I felt that I couldn't be a Niners fan because, San Francisco and can't because of Giants. So I can't go up there. I can't be San Diego fan because of Padres. So then there's like Chargers down there. Can't do Oakland because of baseball, so I can't be Raiders. So then I decided as a kid, you know what? I need a team outside of California. Like I'm new to football. This is around 96, 97 for me, if you want to age me there. Um, and I'm watching football. I'm watching the Rams be just dominant. Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce just crushing. My dad is rooting for them, big Rams fan at the time. And I'm watching this Titans team that just became the Titans. They're no longer the Oilers. Badass uniform, baby blue with the sword. I'm a kid, has a fire logo on
Yeah.
the helmet.
Yeah.
And Steve Air McNair. I'm
Air
seeing Eddie
McNair was
George
so
just
cool.
crush it. And I'm like, dude, I'm Frank Wycheck, tight end. Let me throw out some lesser names. Um, and I'm just like, dude, these guys are so good. I'm watching them in the playoffs, and dude, they're crushing too. And I didn't know much about football, but they knew they were like a new team because they were like the new Tennessee Titans. I was like, the name Titans is such a cool name. So I started rooting for them. They lost in the Super Bowl. They lost by that yard. Mason reaches. We got there obviously because of that miracle, Music City Miracle. That already got me hot and bothered. I'm already like full on Titans there. Then they lose in the Super Bowl, bro, and I'm just like, you guys, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna be great. This is like the start of a dynasty. Titans are my team. I claim you. Got my first jersey, and then we've never been back to the Super Bowl since. And every time we've gotten close, Chiefs or Patriots or Ravens knock us out and we miss it. And now we are a endless bad team that's going to get the number one pick for a second year in a row. We can't pick quarterback because we have one. So we got to hope that we can find a coach that can coach our Cam Ward and hope that we can get back to 1999, 2000. So we'll get back 25 years. But yeah,
Who
so
was that first jersey?
my first jersey was Eddie George.
Oh, Eddie
Legend.
George, another guy. Yeah,
27, if I remember right. Could be
sounds
22, but I
right.
think it's
Yeah,
27.
27
Been a
sounds
long
right.
time. But yeah, so then like I said, Derek, I couldn't abandon my team. I'm one of those memes you see where like a guy will pick his team, his kid's team. The kid will pick his team when he's like 5 or 7. Like that's also me. I did that, and I can't go back. And I have so many different jerseys, and that's why you've all your Guardian stuff. Like I'm waiting until we get good, and it's nice though. Every year I can just go into football with no pressure. I just know we're gonna be one in 16 or two and something. So I'm just like, let's just try to get more draft picks. Let's get a good coach, and then maybe we'll just hit on someone, and then we'll be good again.
And
So.
have you been to a Titans game at in Nashville or at what is it, Nissan Stadium now or
Yeah, not the old one's done. Or
okay.
I think it's either gonna be one more year left of it, and then it's
Yeah,
done. Never went to it because I haven't been to Tennessee yet, which is crazy
oh,
as a Titans fan.
right.
But but I have been to Levi Stadium and I watched the Titans lose there. And I
Fun.
did go to SoFi Stadium and watch them lose there. I watched them also lose in preseason to the Niners once. And now I'm going this year, guys, because they play the Niners week 15. They play the week after the Niners bye when the Niners are going to be so strong,
Yeah.
so healthy with McCaffrey, probably fighting for the playoffs. So I'm really excited to see if the Titans can put up 10 points, and I'm excited to see how close we can make that game.
At least you guys are getting a new stadium though, and I think in 2, 3 years
And
or
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna once it's
yeah,
built,
might
then
get
I'm
a
gonna
Super Bowl
see
there.
which I'll see if the girlfriend, Kyle, I'll see if someone's gonna be like, I really want to go to Nissan. I want to see the new stadium, and I'll be there.
Kyle, who's your NFL team, by the way? I've never
Man, it's probably the Niners.
Okay.
It
Oh, you
was the
switching
Buccaneers.
teams?
Yeah, well, it was the Buccaneers growing up. It's the only team I've ever switched off of.
Okay.
You're just giving up on him, huh?
It's sad. I despised Jameis Winston when he was young. I just wasn't a responsible college kid. Mariota was in that draft, and being a West Coast kid, I loved Mariota.
Yeah.
And
Titans, baby.
I was very upset when Mariota went to the Titans and we got Winston. And I just kind of slowly fell off. It was just gross. And then they got Tom Brady, and I was like, if I can't be excited about the Bucks getting Tom Brady, I'm probably not a Bucks fan. Like I
Yeah.
should be
That is a,
super
that is a
happy.
fair. That's fair.
And yeah, they won the Super Bowl, and I was like, I have no feelings. Like this doesn't matter to me.
All
So
right.
I just kind of reset, and that was right when the Raiders had their last hurrah in Oakland, and Marshawn Lynch came back.
Yeah.
And Marshawn Lynch is probably either my favorite or second favorite athlete of all time. Um,
Marshall
I
Lynch
have
is sick.
I have
The
three
character,
jerseys,
man.
three Marshawn jerseys.
What
So yeah, I
teams?
went Cal,
Oh,
Buffalo, and Oakland.
you don't have Seattle?
I don't have Seattle.
Wow.
Buffalo. Wow.
Yeah, the Buffalo one is probably right there. Hold up.
Do you not want? Does he not want Seattle?
I don't know.
That's
Here we go.
crazy. I think his.
Dang, folks, you've seen
Oh,
vintage jersey live.
Yeah, this is the
dude,
this
you
one's
keep that
vintage
nice and
stuff.
clean,
Oh yeah, I probably wear it like less than once a year at a Super Bowl party. That's probably about as much use
bro.
as it
Get a
gets.
Seattle one if you're a fan. Come on.
What do you mean if I'm a fan?
You can't.
I'm
What is it? Because
obviously a
you're a Niner
fan.
fan now, you can't own a Seattle jersey.
I have three Marshawn Lynch jerseys.
I
I'm
know, but I
doing
want. He
enough.
was his Super Bowl run was on Seattle.
I know.
All right. Well, hopefully one day.
Yeah, hopefully one day. Dude, no, I've got a good selection. Maybe at some point I'll add one, but no,
The
I'm
Seattle
good for
colors are pretty sweet, right,
They
Derek? The
are.
highlighter
They
green.
are. I
The
can't
the
hate on
newer
them.
colors. Yeah, I'm a guy. My late godfather loved the Seahawks, but I grew up on kind of like their Reebok uniform style, which I was a fan of.
Was that the
Obviously, there
darker
was
green?
yeah, the darker green, and then the
Ooh,
70s,
the
80s.
Hasselbeck.
Yeah, Hasselbeck, Shot Alexander, the legend. And then the 70s and 80s colors. I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of those uniforms as well.
They are
My last
expensive.
question for you guys, and I always like to end any Chronicles from the Upper Deck show with this question. What should the audience learn from your story?
Learn from our story. I like these deep questions.
I feel like I kind of did mine already. Like the just do your best in every part of every facet of your life. Just go for it.
Well, are these supposed to be like a very like impressionable things, or am I like just speaking like
Or
off?
just like don't smoke cigarettes.
That's what I'm saying. Is it should be off the dome, or is it like very thoughtful?
Well, thoughtful, whatever you feel like the audience could leave from this episode, and skip to the next YouTube video watching Otani Mania. Hopefully, Ipe not watching. So,
Um, just know that Dodgers are the best team in baseball, and it's just like
All
it's
right.
like we're about to have a three-peat, guys. So it's just
Let's
like
wrap this up,
come on
DG.
the journey with me, come follow me, and let's just all ride the victory wave together. That's how you can remember me by, okay?
Kyle has
I got blurred out.
got blurred out.
I don't know
Oh
what
my
happened.
God.
My eyes rolled so hard, my camera got messed up.
That's I think that's a perfect way to end it. Gentlemen, where can the people follow you on social media?
They can't.
They can always follow me
Oh, there we go.
at
If you know me, you
Cory
can
P
find me.
Baseball. There
I
you
like
go.
that answer. Well, gentlemen, in all seriousness, though, you guys are part of the reason why I'm here. You're on every time I go to like a first tee national event, I always credit the coaches that got me here. Too many to name, obviously, but you guys are part of that story. And I want to be here, trying to chase my dreams of being a sports broadcaster and a journalist and now doing this show. So I'm always forever indebted for your friendship and your mentorship over the years. And yeah, I will make it out to Sacramento sooner rather than later.
Look us up.
Yeah.
Let's golf. Let's golf.
And by the way, I wore a Giant shirt this entire time. So for Cory.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Doesn't
All
even
right,
matter. The Giants aren't good.
ladies and gentlemen, that's Cory Goodman and Kyle Escobar. We'll be right back on the Chronicles for the Upper Deck. Welcome back to the Chronicles from the Upper Deck podcast. My thanks goes out to Cory Goodman and Kyle Escobar. Enjoyed that hour and a half chat that I had with them earlier this week. It's great to catch up with them. And yes, I will definitely be making a visit to Hagen Oaks Golf Complex in the near future. You still got to make it up to Sacramento, but you'll never, ever, 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 forever, ever, forever, ever see me at a Team UA's game. That's never going to happen. But I'm just grateful that they took the time out of their schedule to come on our show. And hey, welcome to the 40/40 Club, my friends, in the Chronicles for the Upper Deck podcast. We'll see what the future holds for the rest of this year. I might do one more show with a guest. You'll stay tuned to that on our social media channels, which are CFTD Pod on X and Instagram. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button, which I'll put below right after this video. Your support means the world to us as we're going to try to do more video interviews and try to do more YouTube stuff as well in the near future. But hopefully you guys are staying safe, staying healthy. Please be kind to one another and peace and love, my friends. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to chapter 40 of the show. And here's to another 40 more. You've been watching and listening to the Chronicles from the Upper Deck podcast. And now you can leave this visual and audio wonderland of mine. Take care.